Welcome to the Golden Scenes, where we, Gabe and Michelle, your hosts, invite you to join us on a transformative journey of self-discovery and personal growth. Our podcast is all about helping you uncover your authentic self, find your true calling, and create prosperity in alignment with your deepest values and aspirations. We're excited to bring you our Mastermind Memoir segment, where we spotlight extraordinary individuals who are making waves in their fields. Our mission is to showcase people who are not just dreaming big, but living those dreams authentically and creating a tangible impact in the world. We're welcoming Tanya, who's a transformative hypnotherapist and wellness facilitator and founder of the Compassionate Couch. She helps individuals achieve balance, healing, and holistic well-being by shifting limiting beliefs, breaking negative patterns, and creating personalized, transformational roadmaps. An international holistic wellness practitioner, Tanya leads workshops on a diverse range of subjects, including vision boarding, manifestation, gratitude, stress management, brain health, and personal empowerment. Currently traveling through Asia, she hosts wellness workshops and hypno-meditation classes to inspire balance, health, and transformation. Tanya's work is deeply rooted in the mind-body connection, empowering others to unlock their potential and live with purpose and joy. Tanya, welcome to the Golden Scenes.
We're so glad you're here.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Tanya, tell us what inspired you to start helping people create vision boards?
Good question. Well, I've always been on a journey. We all are, but some of us are more conscious of it and some are less conscious. And so part of that journey is a discovery of the self. And vision boarding is actually just putting your ideas out there onto something concrete. If we really break it down, it's our wishes, it's our dreams, it's our hopes. And we're actually putting it onto something solid. We're just visualizing what we want. So it's part of that journey of dreaming big, dreaming outside the box, and making a visual representation of it. So I've done vision boarding all my life. I keep it really personally to me, but now I've got into the well-being field. I've started doing courses on vision boarding. I just find it fascinating. The whole thing about vision boarding is really fascinating. So I've been doing it for about 15, 20 years now. My personal vision boards obviously change over the years, depending. All of ours will, because our journey changes and what we're wanting from life. But it's a really good sort of, I call it a tool that you can use just to sort of support that journey and all the sort of growth and expansion that we want to make.
What do you perceive as a vision or mood board? Are there different types, or how would you define that? I'm curious also in regard to this, if you recommend digital vision boards as well. Possibly, if so, what tools or apps would you suggest? If something's more effective than something else encompassing there?
And maybe I'm showing my age a bit, but I'm pretty old school with vision boarding. Anyway, this is how I like to do it because I'm very much about the tangible side of things, really interacting with your materials, because whilst you're cutting out and you're thinking about things, you're actively engaged with the medium that you're dealing with. You can do, most younger people do vision boards nowadays digitally. It's very easy to, you can do it through Canva or Pinterest. People carry vision boards on their phones, which I do recommend. If it's going to be digital, carry it on your phone because you're looking at your phone all day long. So you've got a constant sort of representation of all your goals and dreams on a phone. You can have it on your laptop or on your desktop, and they would be digital. But I just find the process, I speak for myself here, of actually interacting with materials makes me much more engaged with my intention. This is all about intention. Vision boards are, you are putting your intention onto paper, onto a board, and you're putting it out there into, let's call it the ether of the universe, for it to start to manifest. That's the whole goal of a vision board. So absolutely, you can do digital. And I think the younger generation prefer doing digital. It just depends. It's really a personal thing. But obviously with workshops, we do everything, obviously, with our hands and with magazines and glue and boards, and it's a process. Workshop is about bringing everybody together, sharing. Has anyone got a picture of a baby with a nappy on it with red hair? Oh, I found one over here, and you can share your different pictures, whatever it is that you want to visualize here. It sort of brings everybody together in the process of creating the vision board. So it's quite harmonious when it's in a group workshop, that obviously we're not going to be doing digital. There's nothing wrong with digital, obviously.
Do you find it more effective to do it with your hands and to create, because they do have that research about when you are working with your hands and you are coordinating things with your hands, you create that and it does empower, put more of your energy into it. Have you found that?
Well, you're right, Michelle. I mean, it's all about energy. We're beings of energy. So when we're interacting with materials and with our medium, we're putting our intention and our energy through the process of all the cutting and the searching, and we're using our mind to really think about what we want. But when we interact with materials, I find a lot of our energy goes into the intention, more so than when you're pressing buttons. I'm sure the younger generation would disagree with me, and I had this conversation with my daughter recently. She's like, Mom, no, you do it digitally. And I'm like, okay. So to each their own. But for me, obviously, I'm giving live workshops, so we interact with our materials. And yes, I do find and believe that there's a stronger attachment to the images that you're selecting.
It definitely empowers the brain. What is unique about your approach to creating vision or mood boards that you do when you do conduct one of your courses?
We'll get together, we'll talk about vision boards, and we'll talk about the science behind it. We'll talk about their hopes and dreams, and we'll go around the circle and just see what each individual person's vision is and what they're wanting to create for that day. And then I will do what I call a hypno-meditation, because I am a hypnotherapist. I love the idea of meditation, and I like the idea of hypnotherapy. And hypnotherapy is meditation. I call it meditation with a mission. And if you blend the two, you just have something like a guided meditation, but with the hypno part in it, it's giving suggestions to everybody when they're in a quite subdued meditative state. And that really just helps. It just helps ground you. It then helps you focus on what do you want out of this class today? What do you want your vision board to be representing in your life? And it just brings, again, I'll use that word intention a lot. What is your intention? So the grounding, the balancing, and the focus is the largest point, I would say, of the hypno-meditation part. I'll guide everyone with about a 10-15-minute hypno-meditation. It just grounds everyone. And then we'll start doing the work together. And when I say work, it's fun. We start doing the collaboration and cutting out and sharing materials, etc. After we've created the vision board, I end up asking everyone if they want to share their vision board with each other. Sometimes it's a little bit of an emotional, because people realize a vision board is actually a representation of what you're wanting in your life. So maybe it's also highlighting what you're lacking in your life. It can be quite an emotional process, but when I say emotional, I mean in a good way. All emotion expressed is good, and this is like collectively supporting one another and sharing our visions of what we want for each other, or what we want for ourselves, I should say. We go around in a circle. Each person that's attended the class, they just talk about what each component of the vision board means to them. Then we end up closing with another guided meditation, hypno-meditation, and it just reinforces everything that we've done during the class, what our intention is for the board. It just grounds you again and reinforces all your intent that you've put into that board that you've made that day.
I keep getting chills as you describe all of this. It just sounds lovely.
It's not a process to be rushed or anything. This is a really slow process and a very thoughtful process. And I find also when I do the hypno meditation prior to the actual exercise of doing the vision board, it just puts people into a really good mental space and emotional space, rather than rushing in. We don't know each other and let's just start doing the vision board. I want us all collectively to have an energy within the room where we're all putting good energy, positive intention into creating these. Towards the end of the class, what I do like to do is to have a closing hypno meditation, because that grounds everybody. It connects us all again. It connects us to each other, and it just reinforces all of our intent for our dreams, our goals, and our visions. When we leave the class, that sort of energy, it stays with you. And that energy Every time you look at your vision board, your mind will take you back to that moment in that room. It will connect you with that energy. I also make recordings. Quite a few of the people who attend these workshops ask for the recording and they'll listen to them. Either the initial one that I have is the grounding one. The second one, post vision board creation, is reinforcing that intent. Quite often they'll ask for both of the recordings, which I'm really happy to provide them with. I'll explain later other actionable steps you can take, but I do encourage people then to sit with their vision boards. I would like to say it on a daily basis. This is the whole idea of a vision board, to sit with your vision board. We can call it meditation or just sit there, just slow your mind down and study your vision board and absorb all the images. You can be listening prior to doing this to the hypno-meditation that I've created. It just really helps to ground.
Wonderful. It sounds amazing.
Elevate your journey of self-discovery and personal growth with our exclusive Patreon offerings at the Golden Seams. Our carefully crafted content includes powerful tools designed to support you on your path to wholehearted living. Immerse yourself in our transformative deep meditation and subliminal audio sessions, infused with solfeggio frequencies and binaural beats, to naturally integrate and foster authentic living. Complement your practice with our custom-designed mandala, a visual manifestation tool to reinforce your intentions. All of our offerings are Reiki infused by Michelle, a Reiki master, providing an extra layer of energetic support. This synergistic combination of audios and visual aids works with your subconscious mind to accelerate growth, amplify manifestation abilities, and effortlessly integrate self-love and wholehearted living into every aspect of your life. We offer membership levels to suit every budget and goal, from the price of a cup of coffee to exclusive one-on-one sessions with Michelle. Join us on Patreon to unlock these powerful resources and step into your true magnificent self.
Do you mind sharing a success story of someone who achieved their goals using a vision board that you helped them create?
The most profound one that comes to mind when you ask that question, Shay. So there was a client of mine, she was going through a really tough time in her life. She was about to go through a divorce. She'd left her husband and she was just in a really fragile state, very emotionally fragile, financially corrupt. She had no finances. She was very emotionally challenged, let's say. And it was quite an acrimonious divorce. She had a solicitor that she had to put money on account with to engage her services. Now, that was when she came to me, that was going to be on the Monday. She came to me on a Monday. She said, the following week, I have no money, but I need to put a certain amount of money. It was about, in US dollars, about 3,000 US, just to have someone represent you. She had no money. She didn't know how she was going to get this. I was helping her at the time with some sort of therapy, but I had suggested creating a vision board because we can do that. We can do a vision board on just one particular subject, or we can create a vision board on many different subjects. In her case, I suggested that she create a vision board of just what she's wanting to achieve in this next, let's say, month, to ground her, to find more peace in her life and balance in her life. But more than anything, she was really, really worried about this amount of money she had to come up with. She had created the board. I met her on, I think, the Thursday. So it was 3 days later, she created the board. And we'd been speaking on the phone in between. And on her board, now she wasn't very religious, but there was a crucifix on her board. But there was also an image of a Buddha on her board. So I think in times of turmoil and challenge in our life, we really sort of reach out to sort of higher powers that might guide us. And so this was significant to her. And there's no right or wrong image. It's whatever resonates with you. And every image we select has an emotional charge to it because it has significance to us. She had made a board with a crucifix on it. I remember there was an image of a Buddha. There was a sunrise on it. There were two of her luckiest numbers. She had said she wanted to put these numbers onto the board because they had been her lucky numbers all her life. So I thought that's great because your lucky numbers are very emotionally charged. If they've been with you all your life, that would support you. And she had asked me, should she put the amount that she was needing? This is in 4 days' time. On Thursday when I saw her, she needed that for the Monday. And I said, it's entirely up to you. You've got to just go with what feels right. If you're going to use this vision board, use it well. So absolutely, either you write a check out, you put the amount on it, you put the figures on it. She'd put her 2 lucky numbers up. She'd written out a check. She put that onto the board. That was that. Now on the Friday, the very next day, she went to a wedding. The groom, he had a racehorse. The wedding held at the race course. Very unconventional, but anyway, they had their wedding reception at the race course, and there was racing that night. She went along to the race, very uncomfortable because she had no money. Everybody was betting. She had just a little bit of money. She bet on the first race. She had told me she was going to go along and bet. And her practice was, I said, just either go with a name that resonates, jockey, the colors he's wearing, whatever feels right then. So she ended up betting on her lucky number. She didn't study the jockeys or anything. She placed this money on the first bet, on the first race, without knowing anything about horse racing. Those 2 horses came in, her lucky numbers, and they gave her exactly the amount she needed for the Monday with a little bit of extra. There was about, I think, $200 extra. And she had the exact amount she needed for the Monday to put it with her solicitor. And that's one of the most sort of profound in a really short space of time, because vision boards often can take it just depends what you're putting on your vision board and your intent. They can take up to a year to manifest, or different areas of your vision board will manifest at different times, but in such a short space of time. So we're talking like a week. She manifested exactly what she needed. I was just blown away by her story when she told me. Everything worked out for her.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I think there's a power there in having someone initiate it with you to support you, whether it's in the group or you supporting her, puts an additional push on that energy that manifests. Have you found that? Because I feel like if you're doing it the way you're talking, I know of another group of women where they had always done vision boards together for years. Annually, they'd gotten together. Everything would always manifest for them. But they had this true collaboration and support that they had united over the course of years. They'd kept all their vision boards and they had shown this to me. It was amazing.
I love that.
That's lovely. Yes. How do you think vision boards benefit us as a goal-setting technique? How do they differ from other types of goal-setting techniques? Is there a science behind it?
Well, there's actually a lot of science behind it, and I read a lot into the science because I like to, if we understand the brain and the mind, then we'll understand ourselves better. It's only, let's say, in the past 20, 30 years that we've really come to be able to study the brain with image resonance and scans for our brains. Neuroscience has become really hot topic nowadays. And I feel if we neglect understanding the science behind the vision board, and there's loads of studies to confirm why vision boards work. So I can go into a little bit of it with you. There's a part in our brain, it's called, a bit long-winded, the reticular activating system. We'll call it the RAS. It's at the base of the brain. This is a part of the brain which filters out, it decides what's important and what's not. And it's a filtering system. We call it like the gatekeeper to all your thoughts. Now you have to imagine we have so many thoughts all day long. Our brain's getting bombarded with stimulus and sights and sounds, and it can't take everything in. So it has to be really selective about what it does absorb and what goes into your mind and into your brain. So this acts as a filter. When you use a vision board, you're actually saying this is important. When you keep looking at images, your brain will start to recognize, well, this is something that's quite relevant because I keep looking at this image. It starts to download into your mind. There's 2 other things at play. One's called selective filtering, and there's another system called selective attention. The 2 of them go hand in hand. Your brain will start to decide what's important and what's not. And when you look at your vision board, you'll see those images. It will start to remind your brain on a daily basis, this is what is of importance in my mind. Your brain will then start to filter down, selectively attend to. There's also something else called value tagging, which is part of the same process. It just decides, because I keep getting exposed to this image day in, day out, this must be a priority out of all the other stimulus that your brain is seeing all day long in your life. Which brings me to saying, when you've created your vision board, you don't just put it aside. It's a really interactive piece of, well, a piece of art, or it depends how simple. I say try to keep your vision board simple. It's very interactive. And so you've got to constantly look at it. I would say daily, if not twice or three times daily, or put it somewhere that's quite prominent. And now I know a lot of people feel quite vulnerable with vision boards because that's all your hopes and dreams and wishes are on them. Maybe you don't want to put it in your living room, but you could maybe put it in your bedroom. I always have mine in my office because that's where I spend most of my time. So I'm constantly being exposed to it. And I also have morning practices where I consciously look at it because I like to do a little meditation every morning and a gratitude practice. And then I bring my vision board into it. So when you're constantly exposing your brain and your mind and your visuals to this vision board, you will start to make it a priority in your mind. It's called priming the brain. And when we prime the brain, we're exposing our mind to specific stimulus. That will impact it. It will impact our thoughts. It will impact our behaviors. And with the vision boards, you prime your brain to recognize and act on any opportunities that just align with your goals. And it just gives you focus and it gives you purposeful action. And action is something else I do need to mention. We don't just create a vision board as a hobby craft type of thing and put it on the side. When you look at your board, you remind yourself of what's important, and then you also take action. You don't just create the board and put it aside. So you consciously go out there to chase those dreams and those visions. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. It reinforces when you go on a positive route, looking at these images, things into your life. Have you ever been car shopping? At different periods in your life, you've been looking at cars. This happened to me when I was in England. We were buying a car and we were weighing up between two different models and two different brands. I never looked at cars. I don't know anything about cars, but everywhere I went, I saw these two models. And this is a classic example. Everywhere on the road, two cars. Your brain will start to focus on what's relevant in your life, what you're exposing it to. Always expose yourself to your images, look at them regularly, look at them daily, as I say, and make it just a practice. The more that you look at your vision board, the more that your brain will focus on those things that are of significance to you. And so what you're doing is you are making different images on your vision board a priority in your life. Through doing that, you will start to attract these into your life. It's just a fact. And as I said, there's a lot of science to back this up. It's called raised awareness and focused attention. Just increases your conscious to focus on what is a priority. So when you consistently engage with your vision board, it just ensures that your goals are at the top of your mind. It just makes it easier to spot opportunities.
That is exactly what we do with the mandalas, with the members and the audios that we're doing. It's the same mental methodology. Tell us, how can people find you, Tanya, and take your course? Is it always in person or do you offer online courses? How people can get the opportunity to work with you?
Thank you for asking about that. I do hypnotherapy one-on-one. It works just as well, if not better, remotely. You're in the comfort of your home or the comfort of wherever you are. You haven't had to go out. Very conducive to you getting relaxed. I'm also creating now online courses. Watch this space, they'll be coming shortly.
Wonderful.
Traveling around, currently in Asia. I'll be back in Europe for the summer. I've timed it selectively here because I do call it my escape for the winter. I like to come to Asia for winter time because it's much more placid and temperate out here. But then I move back to England. It will be around May and I'll be doing active workshops, which I encourage everyone to attend. But I am starting to create courses now because I can reach so many more people when we do this online. I would say thank you for this opportunity, Michelle. Shortly, within the next 3 months, I'm going to start taking all my courses online.
We're excited for that, and we're excited for people to connect with you because you are a fantastic teacher. Just to reiterate and reinforce what you're saying, I only work with people online because I find that working with my clients in the comfort of their own home, you have everything you need there. I love doing it that way. It's truly the only way I work now.
And that wraps up our free segment with Tanya from the Compassionate Couch. Thank you for joining us on the Golden Seams podcast.
We're truly grateful for your presence and participation in this journey of self-discovery and personal growth. If you found value in today's episode, we invite you to like, subscribe, and share it with others who might benefit. Until next time, embrace your imperfections and let them be your greatest gifts.
This is Gabe and Michelle signing off from the Golden Seams. May you discover the courage to be vulnerable, the compassion to love yourself, and the wisdom to live wholeheartedly. May your path be golden as you find the strength to mend and beautify the broken parts of your life, just like the art of kintsugi. We'll see you in our next episode.